Hello and welcome, friends, and thank you for joining us this evening for this live broadcast. We are streaming out of near Athens, Georgia, on the East Coast, United States of America. This is our Thursday night show, Secrets Revealed, from 9 to 11 p.m. Eastern. And it's always a great pleasure for me to be here with all of you and fellowship and being able to share discourse and to bring forth a lot of the ancient manuscripts which I've been studying and been reading from, and um, so much material out there and available. And there's a lot of different projects which I'm working on to also gain access to some ancient manuscripts which most people have never heard about, never had chance to read, and I do think that they're very important in bringing greater clarity to what people have accepted as the authorized and endorsed biblical manuscripts, and those that they narrowly focus upon for their study and their faith. And, I'm not in any manner knocking anybody out there, for your study or the kind of text that you choose to read. I just personally believe that there are so many more manuscripts, ancient manuscripts coming alight, especially now. I do believe that the Most High promised that in the latter days that he would be pouring his spirit out upon the flesh of man, and that not only would we receive interpretation of scripture and help to unlock the riddle of the gospel through dreams and visions, but that we would also have come to bear many ancient manuscripts that have been kept hidden, preserved, hoarded to some degree by different people. A lot of them, I believe, were good intentions, um, especially with different monasteries, ancient monasteries, and individuals that, in working on the linguistics and interpreting and translating and wanting to bring forth to the public a lot of this ancient material, have been releasing many collections now of what are apocryphal works connected to Old Testament pseudepigrapha, apocryphal, and also New Testament apocryphal manuscripts, which not a lot of people have heard about. Again, because there are so many manuscripts that were deleted from the authorized collection of what people should be looking at in consideration of faith. And so many, not just, the 14 books of the Apocrypha, which include the 13 that were removed from the King James, along with the Shepherd of Hermas, because there was originally an 80 book translation of the King James Bible, this authorized 1611, and um, the those texts were removed for no real good reason other than the book was too thick to print when they began to mass produce them on the printing presses. And so, somebody just decided, well, we'll just strip away these books because, they're not important. And so whoever made that decision for you, um, had all of that material, pretty much stripped away. And it's only, interestingly enough, the Catholic Bibles that preserved a lot of that material. Um, when, in my opinion, they have been working so hard at hiding truth and hoarding it and keeping it for an elect few, um, which even amongst the apostles themselves, this was a practice endorsed by the Most High. But I don't think that these kind of decisions should be made for us by this a group of people that think they're wiser and that they've been chosen, or that they have in some manner the divine destiny, or the fortitude to make the decisions on the behalf of the rest of us as to what is important and what we should have access to. We're in a day and age where you know all of us should read and study and decide for ourselves what is important and what we should consider. And so, in the second portion of the show, I'm going to be giving you some updates on the Thracian Chronicles and the ongoing work, which we are starting to make headway. I have some friends that I am working with to bring forth this material. And interestingly, it's not just the Thracian Chronicles, which as a collection has been uh, just hidden away from the English speaking world, but there's an entire collection of epistles that are New Testament Apocrypha that are also preserved in the Thracian, the ancient Thracian, the Bohairic language, which my friends will be translating to bring forth to light for consideration. And so this is a whole nother collection of manuscripts, which um, has only recently, made it to as far as my knowledge of their existence. Um, and so, I'm excited to get and to be able to share with you at some point very soon just the names of those books and what they are and how they might be connected to other ancient manuscripts which have been released in languages like the Latin, the Greek, possibly even the Hebrew, Syriac, or Aramaic. And so that's going to be interesting when I am shared that information. And certainly I will share it with you as soon as possible. But this evening, in the first part of the show, because it has been a very long time, and because I've wanted to share with all of you my continued journey on the road of learning about the cryptocurrency platform, and also of just what you can do also with your time, because some of what I'm going to show you this evening is um, programs and what are called play to earn games, which don't take a lot of time or effort, and you can have them running in the background. And some of it is just simply, um, the simple games to where you can mine cryptocurrency. And for a lot of you that have joined and have written to us which you can email me at zengarcia2010 at gmail.com to get access to the listserv. And also in our Discord group, we have a link to the group, Cryptos for Ding Dongs, which, I'm not in any manner trying to be belittling or um, it's just kind of, I thought it was a funny name to name the show because I consider myself to, when I first got into all this, the information was over my head, and it took me a long while to learn and to get a grasp of what I was doing. And so I'm able to, because of my years of experience in this field now, and I must say that I am not a financial advisor. I am not in any manner a expert, and that the things that I say and the things that I share here in this broadcast are only from my own experience. And if you want to learn and research and examine it for yourself, that this is something that I've done for myself. I can share my experience with you, but that this again is not financial advice, and that you should seek out professional opinion if you are trying to make decision on matters of finance or investment. Um, but certainly some of the things that I've learned, I believe without a doubt can benefit you. And so I know that, for those of you that are listening through Truth Frequency Radio, you're not going to be able to see the screen that I'm going to be sharing, but that on our YouTube channel and through Zen Garcia, the YouTube channel there, that hopefully this will carry over and you will be able to see and hear what I'm going to be sharing over the first portion of this show. And again, this is something that you can do and that you can run in the background. I'm going to kind of just share with you some of the things that I do, which again do not take very long at all, and can benefit you, especially over time. And so the first thing I want to show you is a platform called Alien Worlds, which it's interesting that many years ago when this program first released, they sold land. And, there's this whole big thing on the hyping of the metaverse and people that are trying to purchase land in like the sandbox world and also in um, Decentraland and others that are coming forth. There's a new one called Network, which is working with the Oculus and virtual reality. But anyways, there's all this land that is being sold with these different cryptocurrency games that are allowing you to reap the benefit. Um, and even though I am not a landowner in this alien worlds, you can still go and mine. All you need is a few set of tools, which are very cheap. You can get them on Atomic Hub, or even if you were to contact me, I'd be glad to send you some. But you can start mining very quickly, and you can earn what is called TLM, which is a cryptocurrency associated to this particular platform. And I'll show you how simple it is. You see here, there's a button up here that says mine. And every hour, depending on the tools that you're using, an hour or 30 minutes or so, you can click on this button. And then you have to have what is called a wax wallet, which is different. It's, sort of like MetaMask, um, but it doesn't work on the Ethereum blockchain. It works on the Wax blockchain, which is very fast, it's very cheap. And you see, I just mined 0.1026 TLM. And then in 35 more minutes, I can mine some more. Well, there's another aspect to this game that's called missions, and they just added this. Oh, actually, I'm going to have to do it on this page over here. Here's another one. I actually run two programs, and I have two sets of tools for this Alien Worlds and mining. The other one I can mine every 35 minutes. This one I can mine every, I think it's an hour. But I do get more rewards on this particular one. And there's no reason why you couldn't set up multiple counts. I just mined 0.4500 TLM there, and it just took a matter of pushing two buttons. And in an hour and 45 minutes, I can, do it again. And so just throughout the day, I every hour and a half or so, every 2 hours, I mine this one, and I mine the other one. And this is the amount of what's called Trillium, the TLM, which is connected to, that's the cryptocurrency connected to this account that I have been mining over the past few days. And then you can use what you mine and put it into governance or use them on missions to actually gain a larger APY, and an annual percentage yield. And what is interesting about Binance just added what are called these missions. And these missions take a certain portion of TLM. And it's in joining these missions, you can gain access to rare NFTs. Each one of these, like I'll show you, this particular mission is for 12 weeks, but 209 people joined. It would have took you, I think, like $4,000 4,000 TLM to join this mission, and you could have made 1,435 back. So that's quite a bit, and TLM is like I think it's like 25 cents each. Let me see here on CoinMarketCap. But this is something really easy that you can do, and I'm going to show you a couple more as well. That you can just do in the background while you're, doing your work, doing your research, whatever. Let me look up TLM. But this one has been gaining value, especially since Binance has joined and created this whole Binance. There's a Binance Planet. There's 6 others out there that you can find different lands you can mine on, and you can also get very rare NFTs. Every once in a while, you will, while you're mining on this particular land, you'll gain access to these NFTs. And some of those are worth thousands of dollars. And you just never know when you're going to, get lucky or be fortunate and gain access to some of these NFTs. But in the meantime, you're always going to be mining at least a certain portion. And right now it is worth 22 and a half cents. There was a time when TLM had was at $7, which is crazy. But since then, it has come down and has remained pretty constant in being around that 18 to 20, 30 cent area. But just recently, not long ago, it had gone up to 49 cents. So almost 50 cents. But anyways, just doing this, pushing a couple buttons on the side, having a chance to get, um, some of these NFTs, which are really beautiful. I'll show you some of the ones that I have in my inventory. And then you can also sell these NFTs too. I got this one for doing a 1 week mission. This one was 1 week. I believe this one was 2 weeks. This one was 2 weeks, and this was a 4 week mission. And at some point, these NFTs are going to be utilized in crafting. I don't know how that is. This is the first, the missions just came out, I think maybe a month ago. It hasn't been long that this has been active, but I've been gaining. You're basically staking your TLM that you earn through mining to do these missions, and then you earn these rare NFTs. Some of them are epic, some of them are legendaries, some of them are common. The blue ones here are rares. These are epics, and then you have some of these commons. But anyways, this is the first generation of these NFTs right now, and they will be available for a certain time, enough time, I think, 6 months or so, the first generation, and it allows you to collect the full collection. And then at some point, there's going to be an entirely new set of cards and missions come in, which you can, stake your TLM and earn these NFTs as well. And I think once they are no longer available, then they'll actually have more value and you'll be able to sell them at on the Atomic Hub, which you can go here to Atomic Hub and you can type in alien worlds and you'll see the different tools that are available. And there's a number of there's a large number of YouTube to help you decide what tools to use. If you are wanting to mine either TLM or if you are wanting to mine these NFTs, and different NFTs show up. You have crew, you also have arms because they are going to set up what is called a Thunderdome where you can fight with the tools, I mean, with the weapons and shields and stuff that you find in doing the mining. Because as I told you, every once in a while you're going to gain, these different NFTs. But these are the tools that you use to mine, and they're just a few cents on the dollar. Different tools cost different amounts, but originally I believe these lands were sold for like $200 each, and now they are worth they're selling for 7,000, 8,000, and these are the lowest price. Um, these are like common lands, whereas some of them are rare, some of them are, epic, legendary, and those lands are tens of thousands of dollars. And so you can see that even in this game, and the reason being is because the people that own these lands, they allow people to mine on their lands for a certain percentage, and that percentage could be up to 20%. We'll be right back, everyone, for quick.
As a bookstore for truth seekers, it's our goal to make ancient manuscripts which were once held captive by secretive institutions available for public consideration. In our generation, where wisdom has increased as Daniel the prophet foretold, we have access to many of the testimonies our early church brethren were persecuted for preserving. After being hidden for centuries, these manuscripts have been leaked from various sources throughout the earth, and it's our goal to gather these sources into printable form to make available for all who seek the ancient way. If you're looking to deepen your studies of the biblical narrative, find these ancient manuscripts and more at sacredwordpublishing.com. Your partnership with Sacred Word Publishing goes further than the publishing of ancient manuscripts and weekly video content.
You also make a huge impact across the earth in orphanages in Myanmar, India, Uganda, and Kenya.
Your support is crucial for the development of the ecclesia of real truth seekers.
We thank you for joining us in hosting Secrets Revealed, Momentary Zen, the Digital Readers Club, Ask Me Anything series, and other shows that have helped lead so many to the truth of salvation.
To become even more involved, please visit patreon.com/sacredwordpublishing, where you can partake in exclusive, interactive, patron-only content and help us continue shining the light of love in this darkened world.
Every day,
are the stories in the Bible true?
what if I told you that there are hundreds of confirming witnesses,
which give intricate detail to the stories in the Bible?
Have you ever found yourself deep in the rabbit hole with questions that no one seemed to have the answers to? Check out swpcalendar.com to see when to join us next for our Ask Me Anything series with author and researcher Zen Garcia, as he sheds light on the mysteries which have us all searching together.
All right, welcome back, everybody, for a second portion. I did want to touch upon a question in the chat room. They were asking me about what I thought about the CRO token. And for those that don't know what CRO is, this is the crypto.com token, and it is something that I did when I sent, first steps for people when they are getting into the cryptocurrency world. That was one of the things that I recommended people join. And I do have a referral. If you just email me if you're interested, I'll send you out those first steps. But it's many different things also that you can do, which are free to do. Things like uh, instead of using Google or Bing to search, your Google search or your keyword search, to use um, a website called Presearch, Presearch, and you can get the Presearch token, and every time you search up to like 8 times a day, you can earn 8 of these Presearch tokens over the course of day just for searching for topics you're going to be searching for anyways. And so you might as well earn, this cryptocurrency for doing something you're going to do anyways. Then there's an application called Fold, which you can download to your phone, FOLD, and it allows you to spin a wheel every day and you can get free Bitcoin. And it's only, the wheel goes from 5 to 1 million Satoshis, which Satoshis are the smallest increment of Bitcoin available. But, spinning that every day and adding that up, um, it, it, it adds up to become a very real amount of money. And they used to give you a lot more than what they have been because the price of Bitcoin has been increasing. But even if you if you spin this wheel consistently and every 7 days you spin for a full week, you at the end of the week get 250 Satoshis. And so it adds up. Another thing that you can do with this Fold um, app is that you can purchase restaurant gift cards or Amazon gift cards and get 25% of your money back in Bitcoin. And so for whatever you were going to go ahead and spend on Amazon, and I do this all the time, I purchase $100 and $200 cards for the things that I was going to spend anyways. And then I have, I use smile.amazon.com, and I have it set up to where it benefits Endeavor Freedom, which is the nonprofit that we run to help the orphanages, and that you can select us at through smile.amazon.com, Endeavor Freedom Incorporated, and 5% of what you spend will go to help the orphanages, and it doesn't cost you a thing to do this. And so again, that's something that you can do. And through the Fold card, you can purchase restaurant cards, Olive Garden, even Domino's Pizza. You can order flowers for your loved ones, Mother's Day, whatever, for your family members. There's a lot of gift cards available there, even like, the clothing or Nikes or shoes, that kind of thing. That if you're going to spend money anyways, you might as well get a gift card, get 25% of your purchase back in Bitcoin, and have that, add up in your balance. And then you just send that to one of your wallets, either Celsius or, Coinbase or whatever, and then put that into a farm where it's going to earn you even more yield. I mean, there's so many ways to earn free money just by utilizing the cryptocurrency platform. And that's something that in the life of this broadcast, Cryptos for Ding Dongs, we've been trying to teach all of you because, you don't even have to have any money. If you're, flat broke, there's things that you can do to earn cryptocurrency that cost you absolutely nothing. For instance, we also advise joining Coinbase and just earning the free cryptocurrencies that are available through that particular website. Because there was a time where $160 worth of crypto was available to members that just joined the website and begin, you can start purchasing cryptocurrency and you can earn interest there. Like, for instance, Algorand was at the time that I recommended people purchase this particular crypto, earning 6%, and they're no longer paying that unless you were grandfathered in, but you can earn a lot more yield, and that's something that I've been helping people do as well. We've been doing private consultations 30 minutes at a time, and I'm helping people to gain 40 to 200% APY on the cryptos that they're going to hold anyways. And it's just a matter of having it not on the Ethereum network, but on the Binance Smart Chain network, which pays you these high yields. And that's something I'll talk about here in just a minute. But let me continue explaining some of these as far as, the play to earn gaming and how you can have some of these games run in the background. Another one that I do is called Prospectors, and this one just had a land sale. And, as I said on Alien Worlds a few years back, these lands were selling for a couple $100 a piece, but now are worth $8,000, as you can see here on Atomic Hub. And in Prospectors, this game just came out. The land was just sold earlier this month. And you can purchase a piece of this land as well just by going here to Atomic Hub. You look up the game Prospectors. And you can see what's available. There's so many different games like this. I don't play a lot, just a few that I can run in the background. Like this one here, the land is now selling for, you can get a piece of land for $271. And this land has gold, wood, sometimes stone, clay, and coal or iron on it. And because of the new release of what is called the Grand Land, these are NFTs that when you purchase them, you purchase this land. It's yours forever. And all of the assets that are on there, you can start, mining or chopping down the wood or gathering the stone, and you can actually sell those things, those items on the market here. And so you can see, you can sell the wood, you can sell stone, you can sell coal, you can sell clay, you can sell the mining ore, and then also you can sell, once you clear out your land, you can create these specialty businesses, and then you can start creating, like you can start mining your gold, you can create iron ore, clay, a tool workshop, even a bank. The people that create a bank in this game, all the people um, that convert their gold to cryptocurrency to move it out of the game, they pay from 5 to 50% to the banks. And so the people that create banks on this game really create a very nice passive income. And there's not a lot of banks, and you have to go through stages of building banks, getting a license, getting the stone, all these different things. But anyways, this prospector's world just started, and so everything was reset. It's all beginning anew, which is why you see on the map that there's not a lot of buildings at all, and it's because everything is starting fresh, starting brand new. And so everybody is starting to develop their land in this world. And as I said, being a landowner, you can gain access to the assets. And then once you get your gold, you can convert that gold into cryptocurrency, and then you can exchange it on what's called Alcor exchange, which is just a DeFi exchange where you can, exchange one cryptocurrency for another, and it works with Wax. And so you can find this PGL token there, which PGL is right now worth a half of a Wax token, and Wax is worth 45 cents a token right now. And so this is one that you might want to, consider, because all you do, and the nice thing about it is that you can set your workers to mining. Like, this is a piece of land that I own. I can put them to work for 7 hours. And that's it. I just 3 times a day or twice a day, I put them to work mining, and they will dig these assets for me, and then I can sell them on the market and sell them for cryptocurrency, sell them for gold, and then sell them for cryptocurrency. And you can also, once you have gold, you can hire people to work for you. Like, I've got people chopping wood to try to clear out all of this resource here, because once you clear out this resource, you can then start building a building. And my idea is to create a tool workshop, as I showed you here, because selling tools to the people so that they can mine, just like they did during the gold rush and Western times, that's really where the money's at, because people have to have tools, and the tools wear out. And so, they only have a lifetime. And so people have to keep producing or purchasing tools in order to mine their land. And so you can create tools, you can manufacture them with your character, but they only last for a short time. I think it's like 100 hours or something of that nature. And then the tools that are made in the workshops are much better. But anyway, so I have a couple pieces of land, and you get 3 workers and prospectors, and you can just have them work mining and for 7 hours each time you set them to work. So pretty much you only have to, click a few buttons twice a day to do this game in the background. And right now, because we do not have the tools to determine if there's gold on the land, you can only explore the other items until somebody creates a workshop where you actually have this tool available, a pickaxe and a pan. Then you can determine if you have gold on your land. But right now, nobody can do that because the game has not evolved enough. The economy has not evolved enough. But you can sell, like I'm mining, I've got 67,000 kilograms of iron ore on this one particular land. That's a lot of iron ore, especially when you consider that on the market you can sell 1 kilogram of iron for 4,900 gold, which you can then exchange that gold, as I said, for this cryptocurrency PGL. You exchange it here, and then you can turn it into whatever. 1,000 gold is 1 PGL. And so 1,000 gold, that's 1 PGL, as I said, is half a wax. So it's about 25 cents right now. And so 1 kilogram of iron ore is like $2. So, I mean, that's pretty good. And I've got 67,000 kilograms on this one piece of land. And so, that's a lot of money sitting on this one piece of land, which is selling for $300 right now on Atomic Hub. And all you have to do is, mine it with these characters once or twice a day. So this is another game that you can consider because it doesn't take a lot of time and it's something that you can run in the background. All right, I'm going to show you another one now. And there's several of these games now available. This is something new that I just discovered and I just got into. It's called Pagaxi. And this one is a horse racing, which I currently right now, I have 3 horses, but I'm renting them out. And right now, this Pagaxi has only been out for, I think, maybe a month, 2 months. And so it's still new. But there's other horse racing games that, let me find that have been out for a while, and the people and there's another one called Zed's Run. Let me see if I can find that for you real quick. Yeah, this D race is, the token had gone up to $8 at one point. It's currently right now only $4 a token. But this is also a virtual horse racing game where people can purchase the horses and then you can race them so that you can earn tokens. And then not only that, but you can also breed your horses so that you can sell the children that are born. Like if you have a male and a female horse, you can breed them a certain amount of times. And then you can sell those horses on the market. And so, you know, for people that get in when the horses are cheap, and you can run them like on the one that I'm in here, this Pegaxi that I just started playing. You can you you can race your horse 25 times um, a day, and it's free. And right now, I'm not running. I don't. You can rent your horses out and allow other people to race them for you, and then they get 20% of the earnings, which is what I've done. And so they're earning me money when I own the horses, and I can breed them. I have a male here and a female here that are legendary, and this one hasn't even been bred. It's a brand new horse, doesn't even have any stats. But this is something that people can start investing in. There's different prices for the different rarities of the horses. For instance, there is the founding horses are the first 3,500 that came out. And then the children that were born from them are the legendary horses. And then the ones that are bred from them are the epic. And the ones that are bred from them are rare. And the ones that are bred from them are called pacers. And so, there's only ever going to be 3,500 founding horses, and all of the breeds are bred from these. And so the game is still new, and you can, get access to some of these horses at very cheap, and then you can race them and you can also breed them. And each race pays 175 what are called VIS tokens. And these VIS tokens are used when you want to breed your horses. These are actually called Pegasus, which is why the name is called Pegaxi. And so for first place, you win 105. For second place, you win 45. And for third place, you win 25 of these tokens. And so, as I said, right now, I have people, running my horses for me. And so I don't even have to do anything. I don't have to pay any attention to them or anything. And as they win, so here's one that they won first place using my horse, which is 105 of these tokens. And then, as I said, you can sell these on the market as well. He won second place. This horse is averaging, it wins 20% of the time in the top 3 places. And so here's 3 times it won, 3 times in a row. And so as the person uses the horse, which, they're happy to earn 20% because it doesn't cost them anything. And so they're basically like the horse owners that have the jockeys that are running your horses, racing them for you. You are earning passive income on the side for doing nothing. And every day they can have, 25 races where they can run them for, or you can do it yourself and gain 100% of the income. But this is also something like owning a piece of land, but instead of owning the land as the NFT, you own these Pegaxi horses. And there are different ones. Like I said, there's another one here called D-Race, but they've been out for a little bit longer, and so their horses are a lot more expensive. I'm not going to connect and all that, but you can look yourself. And there's another one called Zed's Run. And this one's not as expensive because it's not as old of a game. But we are almost to break. I'll show you just a little bit more on the other side, and then we'll go into some other topics. We'll be right back, everyone.
As a bookstore for truth seekers, it's our goal to make ancient manuscripts which were once held captive by secretive institutions available for public consideration. In our generation, where wisdom has increased as Daniel the prophet foretold, we have access to many of the testimonies our early church brethren were persecuted for preserving. After being hidden for centuries, these manuscripts have been leaked from various sources throughout the earth, and it's our goal to gather these sources into printable form to make available for all who seek the ancient way. If you're looking to deepen your studies of the biblical narrative, find these ancient manuscripts and more at sacredwordpublishing.com. Your partnership with Sacred Word Publishing goes further than the publishing of ancient manuscripts and weekly video content.
You also make a huge impact across the earth in orphanages in Myanmar, India, Uganda, and Kenya.
Your support is crucial for the development of the ecclesia of real truth seekers.
We thank you for joining us in hosting Secrets Revealed, Momentary Zen, the Digital Readers Club, Ask Me Anything series, and other shows that have helped lead so many to the truth of salvation.
To become even more involved, please visit patreon.com/sacredwordpublishing, where you can partake in exclusive, interactive, patron-only content and help us continue shining the light of love in this darkened world.
Every day, questions arise.
Are the stories in the Bible true?
What if I told you that there are hundreds of confirming witnesses?
Which give intricate detail to the stories in the Bible.
Have you ever found yourself deep in the rabbit hole with questions that no one seemed to have the answers to? Check out swpcalendar.com to see when to join us next for our Ask Me Anything series with author and researcher Zen Garcia, as he sheds light on the mysteries which have us all searching together.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Just wanted to, answer a couple things and address a couple issues. in the chat room. With regard to cryptocurrency, I realize that a lot of people think that that is dangerous, or that it's the mark of the beast, or that it's the Antichrist, artificial intelligence, this or that. But I simply see cryptocurrency as a investment vehicle, and that one should never, put everything into it, but just put a little bit here to be diversified. But that there is a potential, especially now with the great adoption of cryptocurrencies across the world, because the platform is similar for all the different people in all the different areas of the world, so that the people that invest in Bitcoin in Brazil are investing in the same Bitcoin that we're investing in here in the United States. And because of that, and because there is a finite supply, at some point, um, according to the stock to flow model, and because there is a halving every 4 years, that supply is diminished, and the demand is greater than what is available as far as the liquid assets. And this is, what is happening for a lot of the blue chip cryptocurrencies. And so, um, whereas, yes, you can speculate on smaller, very lucrative projects, especially these play to earn gaming projects, and that, yes, it is volatile, and the swings are greater than what you see in any market. But um, if you place your money into a certain cryptos which are going to weather the storm and are going to be there, years into the future, then you can utilize what are, farmings or farms, which when you provide your liquidity and get these LP tokens, you can gain access to APY, which is greater than what your bank is going to pay you. So it actually benefits you, and it allows you to increase your earning potential and to actually make something on your savings. And just to give you an idea of what I'm talking about, I will show you this one particular website, which is called BuySwap. And it is connected to the Binance Smart Chain. And it's one of those websites that I use for the liquidity that I'm providing. And so I'm just going to show you this. And just show you, how much you can make in just switching and putting your money in the Binance Smart Chain, and then farming yield on coins that you're going to hold anyways. Like a lot of these are new projects because Binance always has, the new, whatever is the new token. And Binance is the one that always adds those tokens to its platform. But a lot of these are, those that have been here for a very long time. But you can see how the APY are hundreds of percent here. Even this Gala token, which many of you know that the Gala network and the Gala gaming used to be connected to Zynga on Facebook, that these people have a lot of expertise, and they've started this Gala gaming network. And here you can mine that together with BNB for 137% interest, meaning that after a year, you're going to double your money just by having it in this farm and just by providing liquidity so that you can farm this APY. Which, yes, the market's going to go up and down, but every day you're going to be earning passive income just from farming this particular, this particular liquidity pair. Here's one that's paying, and I don't know what these are, CCAR, CPAN, of course you can look them up, but this one's paying 1,097% APY. Here's one 1,857%. This one's 725%. XPS, I don't know what that is either, 832%. But, some of these are very familiar, are, coins that you're going to be in anyways, like Solana paying 32%. That's a good one to be in. Avalanche paying 27%. A lot of people are wanting to be in that. Here's Axis Infinity paying 87% interest. Here's one Phantom, another one Matic. So people, the tokens you're going to hold anyways. Here's one Ethereum and US dollar Tether paying 26%. I mean, you're not going to get that anywhere else. Celsius, they pay you 7% interest. But, they're using the cryptocurrency you deposit with them to gain higher yield elsewhere. And so, that's why for the cryptos that you're going to hold anyways, you might as well consider putting them into some of these farms that are paying higher yield. And why not? Why wouldn't you want to get paid so much more for being and holding your cryptocurrency instead of having it in KuCoin or Binance or Coinbase to put it into some of these farms? And, there's very safe places to do that. Another one which I utilize and that people can earn farm or pools is PancakeSwap, and this one is, is backed by and endorsed by Binance, the smart chain itself, and you can auto compound what is Cake and BNB here for 46%. And so some of these APRs are lower, but even here on this website, on PancakeSwap, you can get 306% APR. I mean, that is pretty fantastic, and they pay you out in Cake. What the Cake is the native token of this particular platform, but there's so many different projects and many new projects. Here's the Seedify Fund, which is a launch pool, which has been blowing up anyways, and you're getting 121% on, providing liquidity for these two pairs. And so there's safe places that you can go to really, you're not even betting anything, because if the market goes up or down, it is not of concern to you. You're just simply providing liquidity so you can earn passive income, which is a very easy thing to do. And so If this is confusing to some of you, but you are interested in wanting to do this, know that I am making myself available for consultation, and I'm doing this on a donation basis. And all I'm asking you to do is to donate to Sheila Skiba and to support Rob and their family there, because of the tough times that they're going through right now. And so if you're interested in wanting to help them anyways, and also to learn a little bit about the crypto platform, well, it's a win-win. So I'm giving you of my time freely, and all I'm asking is that you provide a little support for her, because I am still very much concerned for Sheila and her family and what they're going through. And so anyways, if you are interested, just contact me at Zen Garcia 2010 at gmail.com. And I can set up a time to help you, establish some of these things. Or if you are already in Coinbase or KuCoin or Binance or whatever, I can help you get the BSC network set up so that you can start earning, some of this high yield. And especially if you're going to be in cryptocurrencies that are blue chips anyways, like Sushi Swap, Ethereum and Bitcoin. Ethereum Bitcoin pairing here, paying 12.96%. I mean, again, that's a lot more. That's double what you're going to make on Celsius. And I like Celsius. I think they're a great a project. But, again, you can put your money into some of these pools and you can double, a triple, even quadruple it in 1 year. And so why wouldn't you want to do that? Even if it's just with 5% of your income. Why not try it out and see if it works for you? Because I know without a doubt that it works. And I've helped a lot of my friends set up passive income streams just by hooking them up with and helping them to get set up on the Binance Smart Chain. And there's others, you can also do farming and provide liquidity on both the Phantom network now and also on Matic. And, you can do it on Ethereum, but you have to pay massive gas fees in order to make a transaction on the Ethereum network, which is why so many people are migrating away from it and coming into BSC. And so just something to consider. All right, now with regard to, I know we're quickly running out of time, so I'm going to go ahead and go into the Thracian material. And also what I wanted to share with you as far as the New Testament Apocrypha, and for people that are wanting to read or study, examine some new books that are available, some new collections of work that I've been reading from the first two books of this New Testament Apocrypha, more non-canonical scriptures. There are 2 volumes out right now, and there will be a new one There's going to be a third collection put out very soon. But I want to just share with you the names of some of these manuscripts so that you can see that there's a lot of material out there for you to read and consider. And I do absolutely recommend checking out these New Testament apocryphal collections. There are some really intriguing, interesting, and beautiful manuscripts in here. And so, and you can see my screen so you can see the contents for yourself. But I'm going to read the names of the manuscripts that are part of this collection just to show you how much new material is out there for your consideration. And I've read through both of these books, and they're really, really good, awesome reading. So, in the first collection, and again, this is the New Testament Apocrypha, non-canonical scriptures. The first book has the legend of Aphrodisianus. The second is the Revelation of the Magi, which that's the one that I told y'all about. There's an entire book on just this manuscript. It was translated by Brent Landau, who helped to compile this manuscript together with Tony Burke. But he brought forth the story of how the Magi were the children of Seth, and that they had been watching for the return of the Messiah, when the word of the Lord, the Memra of the Lord, had told Adam and Eve when they were being banished from paradise that he would enter into flesh form and be born of their bloodline, be born of their children 5,500 years after his expulsion from paradise. And this, in fact, is what occurred. And because the Magi remained vigilant and watched for, they were led by the Messiah to what is the Cave of Treasures, and they gained access to a lot of ancient writings, which were the a huge bulk of work that had been written by their ancient forefathers. And being given the eyes to see and the ears to hear and a mind to understand, they were able to translate this work and to make it available to the rest of the world. And so, I believe that a lot of what we have as the testaments of the patriarchs and the prophets may have been part of that legacy, such as the book of Enoch. But continuing, so you have the revelation of the Magi, the hospitality of Dismas. Dismas was the thief that was hung on the cross. He was on the right-hand side of Christ. And he was the one that was told, today, this day, you will be with me in paradise. And then he was sent to paradise while Christ went down into Sheol to free Adam and his descendants. And then when they were returned to their first estate, they met this thief outside of the gates of New Jerusalem, and they asked him his story. And then, he told them about how he was a believer. But what is interesting about this hospitality of Dismas is that it tells the story of how he was the son of a high-ranking Roman senator, I think it was, and that he was responsible for searching for the, Christ as he was being moved by his parents, Joseph and Mary, that they were trying to slaughter all of the children that were 2 years of age in Israel and in especially surrounding Bethlehem. And Dismas actually allowed and helped Christ to escape the borders and to move into Egypt. And he even protected Mary and Joseph from being robbed by his gang of thieves. And because of this, he found favor. And Christ told Mary at that time about, that his kindness would be rewarded and that he would die with him. He would be crucified with him in that day when he would give up the ghost. And so, very interesting story, and it's one that, most people have never heard about. Um, then, of course, the infancy gospel of Thomas, and on the priesthood of Jesus Christ, which is, one of the manuscripts that we also provide in my son's book on the word of the Lord, comparative analysis of the hidden Memra. But this one, it's an incredible read. Definitely should read it because it confirms that Mary was both of the Davidic kingly bloodline as well as of the Aaronic, the priesthood bloodline, and that the priesthood and the kingship were reunited and unified in Christ, which is why he is king, priest, prophet. All right, continuing. The papyrus of Oriacanus, there's two of them, which you can find some of these books available. Oh, the dialogue of the paralytic with Christ is an incredible story. It was very encouraging to me because it's the story of, this man that had been paralyzed for 30, 40 years. And Christ was there and he was almost, mocking, not really mocking, but kind of pushing the paralytic man to such a degree that he would believe on him as Messiah so that he could heal him. He had to kind of encourage his faith so that he could be healed. And he was, and it was a incredible story. And, me being paralyzed, it was something that was very encouraging to me as well. So the Toldot Yeshua, it's an Aramaic fragment. I don't remember exactly what that one's about, but then there's the Berlin Strasbourg Apocryphon, then the Discourse of the Savior and the Dance of the Savior, and Economonium on Mary Magdalene, and Encomium on John the Baptist. Then the life and martyrdom of John the Baptist. Then the life of John the Baptist by Serapion. The legend of the 30 pieces of silver, which is a really interesting story as well. It gives you the history and the connections of the silver and from where it came and how it ended up, the the Jews did not want to receive it back into the treasury, and then it was given to purchase this field, of which why I can't remember his name. Judas, that Judas had been killed in, that he hung himself, and then his guts were spilled out onto the land. The Acts of Barnabas, the Acts of Cornelius the centurion, John and the robber. All right, we'll be right back, and I'll share with you.
As a bookstore for truth seekers, it's our goal to make ancient manuscripts which were once held captive by secretive institutions available for public consideration. In our generation, where wisdom has increased, as Daniel the prophet foretold, we have access to many of the testimonies our early church brethren were persecuted for preserving. After being hidden for centuries, these manuscripts have been leaked from various sources throughout the earth, and it's our goal to gather these sources into printable form to make available for all who seek the ancient way. If you're looking to deepen your studies of the biblical narrative, find these ancient manuscripts and more at sacredwordpublishing.com. Your partnership with Sacred Word Publishing goes further than the publishing of ancient manuscripts and weekly video content.
You also make a huge impact across the earth in orphanages in Myanmar, India, Uganda, and Kenya.
Your support is crucial for the development of the ecclesia of real truth seekers.
We thank you for joining us in hosting Secrets Revealed, Momentary Zen, the Digital Readers Club, Ask Me Anything series, and other shows that have helped lead so many to the truth of salvation.
To become even more involved, please visit patreon.com/sacredwordpublishing, where you can partake in exclusive, interactive, patron-only content and help us continue shining the light of love in this darkened world.
Hello friends, thank you for joining us this evening. I'm your host, Zen Garcia.
All right, welcome back, everybody, for final segment. I do want to share with you again the rest of these um, New Testament apocryphal manuscripts, and then I'll be commenting on the Thracian material as well. But just want to share with you, as I know that a lot of you that follow our work and follow our ministry, that many of you are like myself, very intrigued by the uh, extra biblical manuscripts and what are available out there as sources, ancient sources from which one can read and study from in this day and age. And that even though this generation is one that does not like to read, reading is one of the great gifts that I so dearly enjoy. And it's a skill that one can practice while immersed in the pleasantries and the harmony of nature and just being outside amongst the elements and the grandeur of what is the great mystery. And for me, that is a moment of church and a moment of what is a prayerful setting where I'm able to commune with the Most High and to learn through the riddle of His gospel. And when I say gospel, I don't just mean the authorized um, by male, and there's a lot of female voices in the ancient manuscripts when you open yourself up to the availability of what's out there. And I think that those experiences and those perspectives are very important, especially now with the understanding that the Holy Spirit is the feminine aspect of the Godhead, and that women, females, made in the image of the Holy Spirit, that there is a sacred equivalency to the way that male and female come together as one flesh, and that we should not give a greater prestige to the male aspect as a dominant, or females being subservient to that of a male or a patriarchal society, but that we should recognize the sanctity of both the male and the female, and that we are co-equal and co-creators in um, the image of the Most High and the image of the Godhead, as is established and reflected by the Holy Triune, the Holy Trinity, that the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit represent the unity of what is a family as we see here upon the earth. And so um, I think it's very important to recognize and to honor and to uphold that sanctity. And that if we did as a culture and as a world, that things would be very much different than they are, and that there will be a return. And I'm not in any way trying to you know foster or to support some kind of feminist movement. That's not my goals, or that's not my effort in any manner. But I do believe that we should revere and honor the in similarity wisdom as the Holy Spirit, and that she is a portion of the pre-existent Godhead, and that to have that recognition goes a long way in understanding the context of the triune Godhead as is revealed and had been worshipped all throughout the heritage of what is true Christianity. That even the Jewish patriarchs and prophets recognized and honored this triune Godhead, which included the Word as well as the Ruach HaKodesh. And so, and when you read a lot of these books that I'm alluding to here, just as this material was found and verified in the Thracian Chronicles, it is also all over the New Testament Apocrypha. And in reading this material, you will come to recognize, and you will be exposed to, and that you'll be forced to acknowledge that the truth of this discernment. All right, but anyways, continuing. As I said, the Acts of Cornelius the centurion, which we know that he was the one that Peter was sent to, and that having the dream of the unclean foods, that he, God basically said, who are you to call unclean what I have made clean? And that was a vision of how he would, that God was appointing him to baptize Cornelius and his family as Gentiles into the faith, and that the pagan Gentile nations, which were the Greeks and the Romans and the centurion, this Roman centurion was being baptized in the faith and the Holy Spirit. And so, Peter recognized that. And that it wasn't just Paul, but that they came to be unified in this front. All right, John and the robber. The history of Simon Cephas, the chief of the apostles. The Acts of Timothy. The Acts of Titus. The life and conduct of the holy women, Xanthippe, Polyxena, and Rebecca. That is, I believe, a very important book. And it shows how these three women were instrumental in establishing the faith in what is Spain. And that they worked with very closely the Apostle Paul and others, Andrew, in establishing the faith in that part and region of the world. And, this is one of my most favorite stories, the story of Xanthippe, Polyxena, and Rebecca. And it's one that I recommend people read and study, because it will help you to understand that, yes, women were very important in the establishment and the influence of the ecclesia in its very early beginnings. All right, continuing. Epistles. The Epistle of Christ from Heaven. The Epistle of Pseudo Dionysius, the Areopagite to Timothy, concerning the deaths of the apostles Peter and Paul. Then we have an entire section on the apocalypses, the Latin revelation of John about Antichrist, the apocalypse of the Virgin, the Tiburtine Sibyl, the investiture of Abaddon, the angel of death. And then, index of modern authors, index of scriptures, and other ancient texts. 562 pages of incredible reading for you to study and examine and become familiar with. And as I said, that's just the first book of this New Testament Apocrypha, which I purchased, as you see here, November 1st, 2019. So I've had plenty of time to read it. And so we're going to go through the second one. And as I said, there is going to be a new one is going to be released. I read it in the introduction of the second book, which is this one, which was released in 2020. And it's the same guys, Tony Burke and Brent Landau. Oh, goodness. Let me see if I can get to the contents and share with you the names of those. Oh, but here are a few of the names of the third collection that are about to come out. Okay, I'll read these to you since they are right here and available. The Acts of Andrew and Paul, the Acts of Andrew and Philemon, the Acts of John by Prochorus, the Acts of John in the city of Rome, the Acts of Mark, the Acts of Thaddeus, the Book of the Rooster, the decapitation of John the Forerunner, the dialogue between Jesus and the devil, the dialogue of Mary and Christ on the departure of the soul, the Epistle of James to Quadratus, the epistles of Ignatius to John and the Virgin Mary, the epistles of Longinus, Augustus, Ursinus, and Patrophilus, the Gospel of the 12, the history of Paul, a homily on how Archangel Michael defeated Satan now, the hospitality and perfume of the bandit, the preaching of Simon Cephas in the city of Rome, the questions of John, the revelation of Matthew, the revelation of Matthew about the end times, the revelation on the Lord's Prayer, the story of the image of Edessa, the travels of Peter and Christ to Rome, the vision of Theophilus, which many of these texts we have already shared with you. And you can find a lot of them in the Great Commissions 1, 2, and 3, especially those that are about the end time narratives. And so let me see if I can find the contents. Here we go. Oh, no, these are not the names of the manuscripts, but the actual texts. Oh, well. So anyways, just know that there's, an entire, I think it has it here. Yeah, it has all of these in there. The Acts of Peter and Azotus. the Acts of Andrew and Philemon, the Acts of Barnabas, the Acts of Cornelius the centurion, the Acts of the Apostles Peter and Paul, the Acts of Thomas in his wonder-working skin, the Acts of Titus, the adoration of the Magi, the apocryphal Apocalypse of John, the apocryphal Apocalypse of John too, Adversus Nationis, Exposito in Lucan, a book about the birth of the Savior, the book of Bartholomew, the book of the rooster, the death of Pilate, the dialogue of the revealer in John, the discourse of the Savior, Dormition of the Virgin, Encomium of Mary Magdalene, the Epistle of Christ from Heaven, hymns of the Nativity, the Epistle of Pelagia, the Epistle of Tiberius to Pilate, De Divina Liturgia, the Gospel of Judas, the Liber in Gloria Martyrdom, the Homily in Evangelia, the History of the Virgin, the Homily on the building of the first church of the Virgin, the Homily on the life of Christ and his love for the apostles, the Homily on the life and the passion of Christ, the Homily on the passion and resurrection, hospitality and ointment of the bandit, hospitality and perfume of the bandit, investiture of Abaddon, etymologia, the narrative of Joseph of Arimathea, the life of Judas, the life of Mary Magdalene, the martyrdom of the blessed Apostle Paul, the miracles of Jesus, the mysteries of John. I mean, there is so much. And it goes on and on and on and on. I mean, there is so many incredible texts out there for your consideration. And as I said, a lot of this New Testament Apocrypha comes from what are the ante-Nicene church fathers. And the 10 volumes that they put out, which are extensive, we're speaking about hundreds of pages each. And each of these 10 volumes contain numerous manuscripts that, though they were preserved in that material, they were excluded from canon. And because of that, and because most people have never read this material, they don't know that these other books exist. And so go and check it out. And even if you just, search New Testament Apocrypha, I mean, there's so much. I have these as well. I mean, I've got, most of this stuff that is available out there. These are older and they have portions. But I also recommend this, The Ultimate Apocryphal Collection by Derek Shaver. Excellent read. A lot of really incredible material. And there's a volume 1 and 2. I mean, so many ancient manuscripts. Oh, this is another good one. Lost Scriptures, books that did not make it into the New Testament by Bart Ehrman, which I like him a lot as well. He writes and shares about some extra biblical books, especially those that are, connected to the New Testament, that are witnesses for those that were here and that walked with the Messiah in the time that he was in mortal embodiment. And so, you know, very touching, very profound. You know, those are the kinds of stories that when you read about the life of Christ, his generosity and how he was condemned, judged, criticized, and met with hate. It's unfortunate, you know, that he, as God, had to endure and allowed himself to endure all this criticism and judgment from those that were his detractors, his opponents, those that did not believe. Which, praise God, we are believers. And so I hope that I have no idea if Bart is an atheist, and I don't know anything about um, Shaq Reyes. You asked, how much would you sell all of your books? If you go to sacredwordpublishing.com, there is a link. I believe we provide like the entire collection for 30% off or something of that nature. But we do provide a huge discount on all of my books. And if you have some that you've already purchased, you don't have to, you know, purchase them twice. We'll negotiate with you to where you can get just what you don't already have. And if you want to add things on, you know, like the calendar or things like that, or certain compilations that I've worked on that are not, you know, even though I did them, I don't consider them to be like my books, but just compilations that I put together. And so you can contact my children at sacredwordpublishing.com if you are interested. And also, if you join the newsletter, we provide a discount every month so that you, all of you out there, can get access to our material. And even, I mean, just joining the Digital Readers Club and becoming a Patreon, that you get a free book every month just for, you know, being a supporter in that manner. Whether it's a, you know, print book or an ebook, there are different levels to that support. And so check out those levels, and you know, you can gain access to our books that way. Many of you have gained the entire library just by becoming Patreon supporters. But there are a lot of books. I've published 36 now, my personal books that I've written about, you know, a whole wide array of topics. And so you'll have to go there to see what's available. But we do have different bundles available for those of you that are interested in, like the Great Commission bundle or the Flat Earth trilogy, or, you know, the Great Contest, the series. There are bundles available that will help you to get access to the books so that you can read them and share them and study them for yourself and pass them on so that they'll bless others. But I do definitely believe that there will be a time when we're not going to have access to all the material that we freely have access to now. So I think it's important for people to collect and to gather the information while there's still opportunity, so that you can be able to read them and study them and share them, most importantly, with your children. Good night, everybody. We love you so much. Be blessed.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us for this video and this broadcast. We appreciate all of you, and thank you for your patronage. Please do like and subscribe and share with your friends. God bless all of you in your seeking.